Like, and what are they doing
And their
differently?
qualities, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those brokers start standing above the crowd. It doesn't take often a lot to stand above the crowd. You just have to you have to know a little bit more. Like so go into a specialization. So we had a gentleman here. I called him the King of Cool because he started doing a few transactions on freezer cooler space, and so he got that moniker, the King of Cool or Mr. Freeze, because. And he did.
That's pretty cool.
But the market got to know him, and then he started getting inbound calls from people who had vacant freezer space. And he and I worked on a few deals with Sobeys, and he filled spaces that were like, you would look at them as an industrial agent and go, oh, who's going to take that? Well, he knew.
Right.
Oh, this is perfect for and it wasn't like he had this, what was it? Malcolm Gladwell says you need 10,000 hours of study to be. It didn't take 10,000 hours. It probably took 10 hours to know more than the average agent about freezer cooler space. So when he talked to landlords who had those buildings, he was more knowledgeable. So he stood out. And then when he talked to tenants, he not only knew why the buildings were the features that worked for them, but he also knew everybody in the industry, and he'd say, I worked with John, and oh, you worked with John, I know him well, because it was a tight industry. So that specialization, but also being able to say, this is what I do and what I do better. And some people are too humble to do that. They don't like to brag, so they have to learn to say, this is what my clients say about me. That's better. Right. But you better be able to articulate why you're better than the average person. So why would I pick you over the whole industry? And then, if you go, well, I'm at Colliers and we do this differently. There's 460 agents at Colliers across Canada now. So why are you better than that 460? So you better be able to sell your value. Right. So they know their value. That makes sense? Yeah. They normally specialize. Like we have an agent who specializes up in Vaughan, and he's been working Vaughan. He's now spread his wings and doing a lot more than Vaughan, a top producer. Everybody knows him in Vaughan.
Right. And John Powell, for those.
Yeah, John Powell. I wasn't going to say his name. But John will, if there's a 200,000 square foot building being built, he like plays. Like it's like pieces of a puzzle. He knows, okay, this person's going into the 200. I can backfill their 150 with this guy, and he does 3 or 4 deals all in one because he knows everybody that's going to move. So important in a low vacancy market.
I heard a story. You tell me if this is true about you kind of cruising in Vaughan, and I think it was you. And maybe am I on the right track?
I don't know what story this is, but I have cruised in Vaughan.
And then you got a call from John, like, hey, what are you doing with Vaughan or something?
Well, it felt like that for sure. That's absolutely true. So I was up driving around on, I think it was Chrisley Boulevard up there. I had a relationship with somebody who owned a business up there. And John's normal MO is he comes in the morning and makes a ton of phone calls to people up in Vaughan, talks about the market, landlords, tenants, and then in the afternoon he goes out and looks at the inventory and drives and does all his showings, etc.
Well, that's where he goes.
And he saw me up there. I had at the time it was a Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, so they were kind of a cool car back in 1989 or whenever it was, early 90s. And John saw it, and he was like, "What are you doing in my area?" And he was very, very clear that he thought I should get out of the area and never come back.
Yeah,